I want to be where the people are. I want to go where they're dancing. I want to climb on top of that, what is it called? Trees. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, y'all? It's your girl, seeing it, what it do, man. So today, y'all, I'm going to talk about how to keep your mind clear of bad thoughts and negative thinking. Because a lot of us, I know you hear this a lot if you're ever studying your self and how people operate and why they are the way that they are, you will know that we are conditioned based off of how we are raised. Our environment, where we come from, who raised us, the things we saw, the things we did, how we were treated is all engraved into us before we even really start talking and walking. So as you're going out through life, you have a perspective of things already, not only because of your race, your gender, where you're coming from, but how you're raised, how you're treated, how you respond to things. All of those things are all taught to us at a very young age, okay? And unfortunately and fortunately, we have not had a good example of what it means to let go of our emotions, what it means to process our emotions, what it means to even have an emotion. You know, there's a lot of us who are taught to be numb and things like that. So if you are someone like me who can wake up one morning and literally just not be feeling it at all, you don't even know why. The best way I can describe it sometimes is I just have a dark cloud over my head that won't go away. Well, guys, that can come from very much so the way that we are thinking, okay? Our thought process, how we're looking at ourselves. Are we looking at ourselves in a positive way? When we speak to ourselves, are we saying good things? Are we taking in what others think about us that we know are not true? Oh my God, are we taking in what we know is not true? Do you know how many lies I have heard about myself? And I've gotten to a point where I don't even correct it, depending on what it is. You know, like I just sit back and be like, oh, really? That's what you heard? Because I've realized even if I did explain myself, that person is going to believe about me whatever they want to believe about me. You know, that's really at the end of the day what it is. And they're more than likely going to take whatever they got and run with it. You know, they're not going to hear my explanation of it. They've been waiting to have some shit on me anyway. So now that they have it, why would they let it go? Right? But I'm going to show you some tools that really, really help me with the negative thinking. Okay. Number one, I want you to meditate. Okay. Meditate. And the proper times to do that, if you want the most effect out of it, is right when you wake up, before you answer that text message, before you hop on that phone call, before you hop on the internet. Meditate. Turn on some meditation. There's all types of 10-minute meditation, morning wake up meditation. Wayne Dyer is an awesome person to listen to when it comes to your brain and the physics and how all of that works and how powerful meditation really is and how it really refocuses and redirects your mind and your thinking and allows you to understand how much power you have over your thoughts, so you're not always feeling like you're being drowned by your thoughts. Eventually you continue to make your brain stronger and make yourself more aware and wise of what's really going on, and equip yourself with the tools to help with that and exercise those tools. Then the more you can get those weights up off of you, if you understand what I'm talking about. So for example, meditation, one thing I want to tell you is it is going to dig deep, because you are becoming more aware of how you are feeling and things that you might not have remembered, things that can be stored away in your long-term memory. They might start coming back to the forefront, And you might have to work through some of those things. There are a lot of uncomfortable things that we never really want to address, or anyone else to address, but it's killing us at the same time. Well, why do we do that? Well, the number one reason for that is embarrassment, I think. It's embarrassment, it's shame, it's guilt, it's something, people already think highly of me. And if they knew I did this, or if they knew I needed help with that, then they would no longer credit me. They would start to discredit me. People will start to look at me like I'm weak. People will no longer think that I'm this big, fine ass that has all these brains and this, that, and the third. If people start to get to know the real me, then the more they're going to detach from me or abandon me. I experienced that a lot, especially with guys. Like, we'll start talking and then they start seeing some of my weird sides, like they might have caught me talking to myself. Or I get upset. When I get upset, I'm mad. Like I don't get to like really put my hands on dudes, but I have back in my day done some pretty wild things, and I can't say that I won't now, because it just depends on the circumstance. Like, if I'm not going to let a man just hit me, but at the same time, your words are not going to get me to a point where I'm slapping the hell out of you either, But, so yeah, just understand that as you start to dig into yourself, you're going to start to find some things that you may not like. You're going to cry deeply and from the heart, because you're going to realize some things you probably never really realized. Like, you'll see yourself in some areas of your life and be like, oh my God, I didn't even realize I was being manipulative. I didn't even realize I was being controlling. I didn't even realize that this decision was going to have me looked at as a bad parent, or or make you feel like a bad parent. And especially with parenting, we feel things all the time. That's why it's so good to have friends who are parents, or somebody that you can come to and say, hey, I made this mistake. I wasn't intending to, do anything harmful to my child, but I think I might have, gave him too much medicine or something. Whatever it is, you should never be afraid to say what it is, guys. And I do understand that most people are more private with what goes on in their life, so you might not be comfortable like I am sitting in front of a whole bunch of people and telling them, my business. And another thing that comes with that too is you do have people that know you personally in your life, and not only know you personally, but will try to create their own narrative of you, or already have in their mind what they think of you, regardless of what you put out there. So it's very challenging to go through these segments in our brain and in our minds, but it's so important that we do that, because like I said, it's the very reason why we're hurting. And if we never get to the root of why we're really hurting, we will never understand what's really going on, and you'll never be able to really fix it. And that's not going to bring you any fulfillment when you're still sitting there stuck, feeling like, I'll never get my closure. I'm never going to get that sorry. And we'll get more into that as well, because all of that comes with forgiveness, guys. Like, sometimes the person is just never going to 100% accept what they did. But that does not mean that you sit in their unforgiveness. Like that. I have some people in my life who really hurt me, and for a long time, and still to this day take no accountability for it at all. As a matter of fact, tell me that I'm dreaming about it. It never happened. I never said that to you. I never did that to you. Like, straight gaslighting, for real. And making me feel like I'm crazy and I don't remember nothing, But at the end of the day, I had, like I said previously, I've done wrong to people as well. I'm not perfect, and I don't want to create this channel to make you think that I am. That's never been my goal. I'm sorry if you looked at me and you saw that, but I've never ever came on this platform and said, I think that I'm perfect. I live a perfect life, and this is, get like me. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I am a person who really truly walks with God for real. Like, I don't just have no play relationship with him. I don't just talk to him sometimes. Like, it is all the time. And I truly understand what it means to have a relationship with God, which is why I'm able to live my life the way that I do and still be able to sit in front of you and tell you that I'm still getting blessed in my mess. And this is for those of you who think that, and who have had some other person tell you that you can't call yourself a woman of God or a man of God and do this. You can't call yourself a woman or a man of God. The people that's saying that, they are not even women and men of God. So how are you going to tell me what one looks like because of what you saw? Not you can't come to me with your own personal experience. And if you really knew God, you wouldn't even fix your lips to say that about somebody, because you would know none of that shit matters, right? It don't matter if I'm walking upright or not cursing and wearing my clothes all covered up. None of that matters when it comes to the kingdom. God doesn't care about that. And I understand forgiveness and how that works. The quicker you can forgive yourself, the quicker you can move on with your life. But you always have the cats down the road. You always will have a cat down the road that's going to have a comment, or you might say, I'm trying to get my mind together. Well, you can just talk to me. Stop talking to people who have no license. Them motherfuckers is just as fucked up and crazy as you are. They're not going to be able to help you. They don't have the skills to guide you through your thoughts. All they can do is sit there and listen and say, oh yeah, that's messed up, and then on to the next conversation. Stop doing that. If you're going to talk to somebody that can actually help you, because when you start telling people your business, then it starts circulating, right? And now you hear it. I get this all the time. I be around people and I hear this from this person and that from that person, and I'll be like, these motherfuckers just sit around and run their damn mouth. I called somebody the other day just to check on them, right? And they asked me how my job was and all that. They don't care nothing about my mental. Never have. And never, you know what I'm saying? Even when I'm going through shit, nobody gives a fuck. And I'm trying to talk to you and tell you I'm hurt, and nobody wants to hear that. But then if I take one step backwards, you want to try to chew me out and talk about how disappointed you are. But you don't want to talk about nothing else. And if I tell you what got me to this setback, you don't care about that. The only thing you care about is that I took a tiny ass step backwards, and now you want to focus on that. I'm not dealing with that shit either, because you're not gonna scold me like I'm just out here doing like how I was doing before. I was literally waking up and going to sleep to a shot, y'all, like dead ass. It was not a game for me at all. So meditate. Start going for walks or working out. Do things that you love. Turn all your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. Every time you think I'm ugly, tell yourself I'm pretty. If you think to yourself, oh, I'm not worth it, tell yourself you're worth it. Oh, damn, I'm broke. I'm wealthy. Oh my gosh, I wonder how my health is doing. I'm healthy. You just keep telling yourself, that. And what's going to happen is your brain is finally going to say one day, it's not going to happen right away, but one day your brain will finally say, you know what? I am beautiful. You know what? I am wealthy. You know what? I am healthy. I'm all of these things. And before you know it, you're going to look up one day and you won't even have to tell yourself that. It will just be. It will just be. And then you'll start walking differently. You'll start talking differently. You'll start treating people differently. You start walking on your job differently. You're going to show up more in all types of areas of your life. Everything about you is going to be different. People are going to say, there's something different about you. You sound happier. You look better. It's because you're not holding on to all that shit. that you don't need to hold on to, shit that's not even yours, shit that's happened in the past that you can't get over because you're waiting for somebody, the person that wronged you, to say sorry. When they'll do it again. When you really the one who needs to apologize to yourself for even wasting your time with that person and move on to somebody who values you. And we will talk more about that, but again, I want you to leave out today to turn them negative thoughts into good thoughts. Do your work. Do work on you. Build you up. Get you some therapy. Get you some help. Get you some spiritual guidance. Pray, meditate, and turn those bad thoughts into good thoughts. All right, y'all? I love y'all. And you already know what it is. We talk about being in alignment. Be y'all. We out.